Piston power, piston power, piston power, piston power, piston power. Electro. नहीं किसी से कम, हमें लगते के किंग। एवरीबॉडी से
Come, join, arise and shine.
Wish you all the best.
एकच power, एकच power, एकच power, एकच power. Piston power, piston power, piston power.
Hello everyone, good morning to all. Welcome you all for today's webinar being hosted by FX Polytechnic College on the topic Manufacturing Process of Automobile Industries by our resource person Mr. Kingsley Devadas Daniel. Now it's time to introduce our beloved resource person Mr. Kingsley. He is a Senior Project Manager in Mercedes-Benz Research and Development Private Limited, Bangalore. He was handling the project in Russia, France, China and Brazil for the past years. He got many awards and honors in Mercedes-Benz. Also got the Great Star Performer Award for his achievements. He had presented many seminars and conferences in automobile innovation, patent, e-commerce and startup. We welcome you, sir. I hope the session will be very useful for one and all present here. I welcome all the participants from various colleges, public and private sectors and students. I hand over this session to our resource person, Mr. Kingsley Devadas Daniel. Everyone, please mute your audio and video. Thank you, sir. Sir, please take over the session.
Good morning, all. My name is Kingsley. I have completed my BE Mechanical in CSA Engineering College in Nagarkovil. After I did my MBA in MS University, Manonmaniam Sundranar University. Currently, I am working in Mercedes-Benz Research and Development Private Limited, Bangalore. Today, we will talk about manufacturing process in automobile industries. In automobile industries, there are 4 main process areas. One is the press shop, second one is the body shop or weld shop, third one is paint shop, fourth one is assembly shop. So these all are the main process area. Today we will talk about in detail about paint shop process. I will give the overview about the press shop process area. Basically, press shop it's the first process area where we will prepare the body shell parts. So, which is nothing but a door, closers, then side wall, also the underfloor. So, if you can see the picture, the shape of the car will be prepared in each part that will be manufactured in press shop. For doing the press shop, we will also use the digital tools, which is the die simulation. If you see here, this is the part, then the lower part is lower and upper part is die. Then we also do the press simulation. Press simulation, nothing but a press which will hold the die. Then also we'll do the forming simulation, which will create the shape of the car outer body. So there are some main OEM like Hyundai or Daifuco. They will be the main OEM supplier, which they are supplying, which they are preparing to throughout the globe for all the automotive industries. Next one is the body shop. In body shop, where we will join all the parts came out from press shop. In press shop, we already saw each part, each car body parts will be prepared as a section, like a door, closer, sidewall. These all will be welded in body shop. That's why we call this body shop or weld shop. So in body shop, basically, we'll do the robotic simulation, then the weld simulation. Also, we'll do the deformation simulation, because whenever we do the weld, there will be a distraction in the weld. So we'll also do this kind of simulation in digitalization. The main companies are KUKA and Komao. So they are mainly Japan-based company. They will be supplying the complete body shop facility throughout the globe, also throughout all the OEM. Next one, paint shop. We will talk about in detail. After paint shop, we'll have an assembly shop. So assembly shop where we will do the complete assembly of the inner and outer parts of the car. So when I talk about the outer parts, it's like a engine. Then we'll have a cable truck. Then we'll have a tire. Then we'll have lights. So these all will be the external parts. Then when we talk about the interior part, it's like a trim, cockpit, then seats. These all will be the internal parts. So for assembly shop, we also use the tool of DIFA assembly simulation. Then also we'll check the throughput, like per hour, how many cars we can able to assemble. Also, we'll do the ergonomic study in simulation, because the people will work for this assembly. So if they work throughout 8 hours, what will be the ergonomics? That will also will do the study in assembly shop. So mainly there are companies like AE Industries, ATS, Pori Automation. These company will support for this company will prepare the complete assembly shop facilities. So today we will more focus on paint shop. Paint shop basically will do the robotic simulation, also for the technomatic simulation, which is nothing but a throughput simulation. Then also we'll do the ASLIM simulation. ASLIM simulation, like for the paint properties, how much thickness we have to give in each part. This kind of simulation we'll do it in ASLIM. So there are 3 major companies in globe where they build the complete paint shop facility for all the OEM. One is Dur, this is the German company. Another one is Jayco Takisha, this is Italian company. Also, there are some companies. One of the companies, Leo Surface Coatings, which is Indian-based company. They also deliver the paint shop turnkey project. So apart from the main process, there are some auxiliary process which will support for the manufacturing process in automobile. First one is HR admin, of course, from supplier side and how to do the procurement. Then also we have a building construction, because we need a building for this facility. Also for your facilities, then utilities, where then logistic for material handling. Also we'll have a controls department where we'll collect all the data in one place and trigger where the material has to go, where the material has to go into the next step. So the control is also important auxiliary function. Then we need a IT networking. Also we have a conveyor technology which will help for move the car from one place to next process places. Also for industrial engineering, then quality in manufacturing, supplier quality. Parallelly, we have a engine assembly and a warehouse management. So these all are the main auxiliary process which will support the main process area. So as we said today we will discuss more about paint. So you also see the cars in different colors in road. So you may thought of how much will be the thickness of the paint. because if you look at the painting, so before to go into the thickness of the car, I will give some example. And the human hair is 50 micron thickness. So you always assume that whenever we talk about thickness, you can easily compare that which thickness we are talking about. Then we have a dust particle around that is 10 micron. Then if you see the carbon fiber, it will be 20 micron. Smoke particle is 1 micron. So you can compare with a human hair for your assumption. So whenever we receive the material from press shop, that material all steel, aluminum or magnesium. Yeah, it depends on the process requirement. So this material always will be coated, always coming with coated of zinc layer because this material coming from different places. For the corrosion protection, this all material coated with zinc layer or coil coat. So which will be for 4 to 9 micron. So when the car coming into the paint shop, it is already pre-coated like 4 to 9 micron. So the first process in paint shop is phosphate coating. If you see here, the coating will be applied for 2 micron. This is nothing but to cover the dust or clean the dust and other particle from the car body. After the phosphate, it will go to e-coat. So this is the first dipping process. This is nothing but a primer application where we'll do the first coat of car body. So which will be done in 25 micron. After this, it will go to primer surface. So we'll do the primer with 25 micron. Then it will go to base coat. Base coat nothing but where we can see the color of the car body. So this will be 18 to 12 to 18 micron. The last coat will be the clear coat. Clear coat nothing but a metallic color. You also know that when we go and order to the dealer, they will offer us in a metallic finish or we need a normal finish. So if you need a metallic finish, there will be a clear coat, which is the glassy finish, which will be coated with 45 micron thickness. You also see in the right hand side why we are doing this coating, why we are doing multiple process. Basically, the phosphate will be the corrosion protection for adobe. Then e-coat will be the main focusing on the cavities. Because when you see the car, you have your outer surface, you have your inner surface, also there will be a cavity in between. So if rust starting in one area, the rust will develop. It's similar like a cancer disease. If it start in one place, then it start expanding the corrosion and it will spoil the car body color. So for that, we'll do the e-coat application to cover the complete car body. Next, we'll do the primer surface, which will protect the car from stone chipping. Stone chip is when you drive the car. There will be a stone on the road, which will also impact the car body surface. So for that, it will give the protection. Also, will give the UV protection and the surface smoothness. Base coat, as I told before, it will give the color of the car. For example, if you need a green color car, you will not seen until the primer. The first color will be applicable in base coat. This will decide which color customer want. Also, it will give the effects for the car body. Clear coat, it's protection about the environmental effect, which is nothing but a glassy finish. Also, the finger touch protection. If somebody touch the car, then you will not see the fingerprint in the car body. So it is for the environmental effect. So this is the paint side. Also, we'll do the PVC application. PVC nothing but a polyvinyl chloride. We will see in detail in below slides. Also, we do the waxing application. Next, if you see the paint shop process layout, as I mentioned before, the main paint shop process are marked in dark color. So it is the first one will be the pre-treatment, which will be nothing but a phosphate coating. Then we'll do the e-coat, nothing but an electro coat. After the e-coat, it will come to sealing application. After sealing, it will go to top coat application. After top coat, if there is any repair, then it will go to repair process. Otherwise, it will go to cavity waxing process. Then it will go to the final assembly to assemble the interior and the exterior parts. So first we will talk about the phosphate coating. What is the phosphate coating? How we do the process of phosphate coating. So for phosphate coating, first we have to clean the complete car body, which is coming from body shop. Because in the body shop, we may store the cars little longer. Then the bare material should not get the corrosion. Also, to avoid this corrosion, sometimes we'll apply the oil also in the car body. So when we come to painting, there should be oil-free surface. Then only the paint quality will be good. For that, first we need to clean the complete car body. After the cleaning, we have to do the rinsing with activation. Then we'll do the phosphate coating. After the phosphate coating also, we will do the rinsing, because phosphating is nothing but a chemical cleaning process. If the material stays more than the required process time in this phosphate chemical, then this chemical start etching the metal, which is not good for the e-coat process. That's why after phosphating, we'll do the rinsing. So how do we check the surface is cleaned for the e-coat? Mean the phosphate is done completely clean or not? So if you put the water on the surface, you can see if there is an oil, then the water flows like this. So the cleaning of the car body it's not done properly. But when the cleaning is done, we will have a smooth surface. So we'll have a separate laboratory in the factory where we can analyze how much chemical is required for cleaning, what kind of process time we need for this cleaning. Then finally, we should achieve this kind of smooth surface. So if you check with a microscope, the cleaning of the car body, we need to get to this kind of activation surface, because this will help for the next e-coat, the nothing but a primer coat process. So if you see these kind of crystals, then the cleaning activity or the conditioning activity, it's not done properly. So for phosphate tank, basically we'll use the phosphoric acid, then zinc, nickel, magnesium, iron, and calcium. Also, we'll do the phosphate, nitrate, sulfate, chloric anions. Then for a accelerator, we'll use the NaNO2 and H2O. So these all are the basic chemical which will be used for the phosphate coat. So as I said before, this phosphate coating is 2 micron for the car body, and the human hair is 50 micron. So you can also compare how much thickness we are adding into the car body. So first one which we are talking about, which we spoken about the phosphate coating. Then to do this coating, we have some process time. If you see the pictures, when we dip the car body into the process, it will be showing us 2 seconds this kind of crystal. Then after 15 seconds, this kind of crystal. After 90 seconds. So 150 seconds, we will achieve the required surface for the e-coat. So the total process time for the painting process is 150 seconds. The next coating is E-coat. E-coat is the primer. First primer we will apply on the car body and the cavities. So this is the deep process. If you see the picture, the paint will be the paint will be in the big tank. Then we will dip the complete car body. So why we are doing this E-coat? E-coat nothing but a electro coat. So first one for the corrosion protection, then for the inner and outer edge corrosion protection, we do this kind of E-coat. So how is the process? The basic science. So the E-coat is nothing but a cathodic electrode process where we can keep the car body in plus terminal. Then we have to give the voltage for the paint in negative terminal. So how we will give this voltage? If you see the next picture, the paint will have the anode cells. Anode cells mean it is the electrochargeable cells which will create a 24 volt negative voltage. So this is the tank. The tank will be grounded. Then tank will be filled with E-coat paint. For electroshock purpose, this tank will be coated with fiber so that there will not be any transfer from any electrical energy transfer from paint to outside surface of the tank. So this fiber coating will act as a insulation. So there will be a full amount of paint in the tank. This paint will be charged with one rectifier. Rectifier will give the voltage. So which I told you, 24 voltage for the paint. Then we have a car body. Car body is the metal car body. It's always like a steel parts where we can do the coating in the E-coat. So this car body will get the positive supply, or vice versa. We can also do like a car body will be the negative supply, paint will be the positive supply. So this is depends on the rectifier. We can give this voltage to the car body. So when this car body get voltage, paint already positive voltage, then paint already have the negative voltage which we call as anode. Then by electrocathodic method, all the paint will go and deposit to the car body surface. So how much coating we want, how it will define. So as soon as you keep the car body longer with this voltage, longer thickness we will get. But if the requirement of E-coat is only 25 micron, so usually we will keep this car body for 240 seconds with 320 voltage. 320 voltage will be the maximum one. Depends upon the rectifier zone. We can organize the distribution. So this paint also will be circulated more, because if you keep it in without circulation, then it may get a damage, because we need a laminar flow whenever the car body comes in deep position. We should have a uniform coating. So for this we have some pumps which will circulate this paint and maintain the laminar flow for the process. So what we'll do, if you not do the electro coat, if you do the directly the primer and the base coat and clear coat, so what will happen? If you see here the picture, these all are the cavity which I talked about. If you see the outer surface, this is the exterior, and inside the car is interior. So between that we have a cavities. So if you not done this E-coat, then the rusting will start from here, because whenever we drive a car or whenever we clean a car, we also spray the water into the door cavities wherever the gap is available. Then as soon as the water enter, it starts creating the rust. And rust, if it is start in one place, then it start to expand. So to avoid this, we are doing the e-coat. So the composition of e-coat material. When we talk about the paint material constrain 79.6 percentage of water, then 0.4%, 1% of solvent, then 0.4 percentage of organic acid, and the pigments and binder. Pigments and binder is the paint powder. So this is the process elements, the thickness and the voltage curve. So as soon as you give more voltage, you can reduce the time. If you keep the time longer in the e-coat tank, then you have to reduce the voltage. So usually we will get by industrially 500 volt. Depends upon the surface area, how much volt you need. We have to calculate it. Then we have to look at how much seconds we have to keep the car body in the process. But ideally in automobile industries, we'll keep 240 seconds. Then voltage will vary, depends upon the production jobs per hour output. If they need more cars in 1 hour, then they keep less time, more voltage, or vice versa. Then another important topic for the e-coat process, because whenever we dip the car, there will be air bubbles in the cavities, because we always dip with some angle. I just jump to the first picture. You can see we always put the car in some angle. So this angle will be 18 degree or 30 degree or 45 degree. Depends on the length of the tank, depends upon the conveyor speed. We can define this angle. So whenever we dip, there will be air bubbles. The air will move inside the cavities. Then if there is air, that liquid paint will not enter. So for that, we have to do some rinsing in the process. So how we do the rinsing? We have a nozzles in the bottom of the tanks. Then we'll give the throw power. So by this throw power, then we can push the air little bit. There will also the holes available, which we called as a drain holes. So by these drain holes, the air will go out. Then all the complete car body will be coated. So how do we check this throw power? Because we want to know, okay, this is the car body, how much power we have to give, how much circulation we do. Because I also told you that in e-coat tank we need a laminar flow. So if you give the complete circulation, it will transfer into the turbulence, which will not be good for the exterior of the car body. So we'll have we have a test center. In test center, we will prepare a pipe. Then we will check how much volume need, how force we have to do the help paint to achieve this throw power. Then these all are some test method. For example, when we put 1 bar pressure, how much throw power we are achieving. By this, how much we are getting the coating. So how much micron in thickness. So basically, this is like a complete car body. We make a sheet of 100 millimeter or 1 meter square. Then we'll put this plate into the tank. Then we will give the circulation and voltage. We will check how much micron we are achieving. For example, here we are achieving 20 micron, in the middle of the plate 19, then edge of the plate will be 20 micron. So more or less we know it is within tolerance, because E coat we need 18 to 20 micron, 20 to 5 micron, then this throw power is okay. Next one is how do we dosing of this paint? How we will get this E coat paint? So we will get the paint in two categories. One is the binder, then will be a pigment. Pigment is nothing but a color, then binder is nothing but a paste which will give the adhesive or properties for the paint. Then these two will be mixed with DI water. By circulation, this binder will be mixed with pigment in the uniform way, so that if you dip the car body, when it is coming out, you will see the equivalent paint distribution all the area. The next process for painting is woven. Whenever you do the painting, any coat, say E coat or a base coat, primer coat, we have to send this car into woven. So what is woven? Woven is nothing but a heat chamber, because each paint material depends upon the supplier paint manufacturer recommendation. Whenever we do the painting, we have to do the polymerization. Polymerization, why we have to do? Because we need around minimum 10 years of life for this paint. Some of the OEM giving 30 years, some of the OEM giving 10 years guarantee for the paint corrosion, some of the OEM give 3 years. So based on their company policy, they also suggest the paint. For example, if they are going with a lower value car model or some commercial model, then they give 3 years of paint validity, paint corrosion protection for the car. Then they may use the low cost paint because it has to be withstand for 3 years. Then if you go with a luxury car model, they give for 30 years validity. Mean if 30 years, if any corrosion, then they will get the guarantee for that corrosion protection. So for this, we have to do the polymerization. For example, E-coat polymerization, the polymerization from supplier recommendation is the polymerization nothing but a breaking of the crystal, because when the paint coming out from E-coat, this will be a liquid, and I would say like a dry formation, because liquid is deposited in the car. Then this polymerization has to be broken. So for this, we have to heat up this paint first 10 minutes with 110 degree Celsius. Then we have to heat up again this paint into 110 to 180 degrees Celsius. In 180 degrees Celsius, we have to keep it for 28 minutes in the heat oven. Then we have to cool down into normal temperature, 40, below 40. So when we do this kind of process, this paint get polymerized. Polymerized means the crystal broken for the paint, you can see here. And this will give the good addition to metal or steel and the paint material. One comparison, if you do the painting for the house, if the surface is not good, then it will come out maybe after 6 months. But the house painting, the material is different, process is different. For automobile, this is very precious because all the material is steel. Then most of the material is steel. Then we have to do the proper painting, because painting only will represent the car quality, like shining and the customer attraction. So for E-coat, we have to follow this polymerization. So whenever we done the polymerization, we also have a quality check. We will check how much is the temperature for the car body. We will not check each car. Maybe per shift we will check 1 or 2 cars. Then we will check if the oven is correct temperature. So the oven principle is we have basically we have two major types. One is the electrical oven, another one is the gas burner oven. So what we do, we'll keep the car body inside the oven, and if you see this is the electrical coil, then we will send the atmosphere air by with filter by fan. So when the fan start, the air passes through this electrical coil, then the air getting heated, then the heat will be transferred to the car body. Similar way, instead of this electrical coil, if we have a gas burner, then gas burner we will keep it in closed chamber. In the closed chamber of gas burner, one side we will send the air, another side we will take out the air, and we will blow to the car body. So by this process, this oven will be heated up, then this car body will get the heat. So how do we test if the oven working well, the car body cooked well, mean the polymerization done well. So what we do, we divided the car body parts in portion like hood. Hood is, you can see the number one. This is the hood of the car. Then the front door, then inside of the front door, then also we have a roof, then we have a reinforcement, which is nothing but a B pillar, you can see here. Then we'll have a 4-plate panel, which is the floor. Then we'll have a recirculated air roof center inside. So this is the inside of the roof where it is not able to reach easily. So we'll place the sensor, the heat sensor in all this area, and we will run this car body in the complete oven. After this car coming out, this sensor will also have the data pack, which is the device which will monitor the temperature of the car body as well as the time for the car body. So after it is coming out, we will download and we'll check. Okay, is the this car body paint polymerization done properly or not? So by this, we will check the quality of the oven process. So this till now we learned what is phosphating for the cleaning of the car body. Then e-coat is the first primer painting. Then for this e-coat, we have to do the polymerization. Next, we'll go to the test method. So one test which we saw, how much temperature we gave to the car body, how the graph. By this we can check. Another one, we will go with the addition test. So addition test is, if you see the tool, we call this the cross hatch line tool. By this tool in the car body, we will do the scratch. So then if the scratch, if you could see only the line, then the paint is okay. If the scratch is coming like a blurred one, mean it is also removing some of the surface apart from this tool edge area, then we could identify the coating is not okay. Mean the paint and the steel, it's not binded well, it's not polymerized well. Then we will go into the test process again with laboratory. Okay, we will check the property of the paint, then polymerization of the movement. Also, we'll check the voltage of the car body, which we given during the e-coat process. So in the finally, we have to prove this, pass this addition test. Otherwise, the quality of the paint is not okay for the car body. So the next process is sealing. I just jump to the next picture, so you will know what is sealing. If you see here, you can see this one, the lines with white color, this is the sealing. So why we do the sealing? As I told you before, from press shop, we will get each part in segments, like underbody separate, then the door separate, and the hood separate, everything is separate. In body shop, we will do the welding. So in body shop, we will not do the continuous welding, because when we do the continuous welding, this sheet metal, get destroyed because this sheet metal, the maximum thickness is 1.2 millimeter. The minimum thickness will be 0.6 millimeter. So when you do the continuous welding for 0.6 millimeter, then the shape will be changed. We won't get the car shape. Then also it is the difficult process or time consuming process. So for that, what we do in body shop, we'll do the stitch welding with particular interval based on the simulation. Then in sealer, we will apply a complete sealing material. Sealing material is called polyvinyl chloride material. So this we will be sealed in all the joints for the car body. So why we do the sealing? Assume if there is no sealing in the car body, when you drive in the road, you will have a water in the road, then the water can come inside the car body. Because you have the joints are not sealed, then the water leaks come. So as soon as water come, it's not comfortable for the passenger who sits in or who drives in. Also, if the water comes in, then it start to give the corrosion. So basically, we do all this paint shop process to avoid the corrosion. So this painting and sealing, all this for the corrosion resistance. So we have to prevent the water leaks. That's why we are doing this sealing. Then second one is no dust and fume intrusion. So when you drive outside, also we have the engine compartment. So there should not be any dust or any fume should come inside, which will be not the comfortable for the passenger. Also, as I said, it's for the corrosion prevention. Also, the sealing will help for the acoustics. Because whenever we prepare a car, we also do the aerodynamic simulation. So for that, we assume that this is the one body. It is not like a separate section where you have a gap where air can excess. So for this also it will help. So if you see here some of the picture, the corrosion, if you not do the sealing, after 6 months it starts corrode like this. Then because of the corrosion, the joints also coming out. Then it will also help for the airflow where we can drive the car faster. Then how do we test the sealing process? What we do after the sealing, after assembly, we will keep the car into the shower tester. Shower tester, nothing but a spray water where we will keep the car in 4.8 minutes with 2.45 meter per minute. We will run this car. Then the time for explosion is 2 minutes. When it is coming out, we will check inside the car if any leakage in the car or not. So by this, we will ensure that the sealing process is okay. So this we already saw. The main purpose is to close all the seam nothing but the joint from water and fume noise. Next one is the primer coat process. Primer coat will be done by 25 micron. Before we saw the human hair is 50 micron. So this will be half of the size of the human hair, which will be the primer coat. So what will happen if you not do the primer coat? Mainly, if you see the picture, you might observe in the roads for the commercial vehicles, the paint quality not good. Maybe after 3 years or 4 years, then it start removing like this. So for the passenger vehicles, I mean, we also the own vehicles to avoid this kind of corrosion. We used to do the primer coat. So same, if you not do the primer, if some stones come into the car, so wherever the stones chipped, then the paint will be removed. So Mainly for the primer coat, we will do the improve the chipping resistance when we drive the car in process. So also this will help for the UV rays prevention, and also will help for the coverage of the e-coat, because e-coat we done a complete car interior and the exterior also it will cover the e-coat. Then this will also help for a smooth operation of base coat. So this is the crystal picture with microscope for the primer surface. So we need to get this kind of surface with clear, smooth lines, so that the surface is good and which will be helpful for the next coating. So next is the base coat, which will apply for 18 micron. Mainly the base coat purpose to reduce the UV light, also the heat. When we park the car outside the heat with 45-degree temperature or 50-degree temperature, it won't destroy the color. So for this, we'll do the base coat. Also for the moisture. So if we keep the car in rain, or when we do the cleaning, it won't destroy the color shade. So this will support for a color and design aspects, also the brightness and marketing. Marketing why? Because this is the first coat which will give the color. The previous coat, Elpo coat and phosphating, this is colorless. It's like, I would not say colorless. It's like a primer color. Also the primer coat, but the base coat will give the first surface for the color. So the base coat depends on the material. We have a water-based base coat and solvent-based base coat. Uh, some of the countries like European and all, they already burn the solvent-based, because when we do the base coat, we also do the polymerization as we saw before. So when with the solvent-based, when we do the polymerization, then this paint remove some hazards, which will be harmful for the humans. So that's why some of the countries they stopped the solvent based and they use the water based coat. So if you see here how much is the content. So water based coat, water will be the major content, 64 percentage. Then resin is the paint, then 23 percentage of solvent. So when we go with solvent based, then more will be the solvent, the water content will be less. That is the difference from the base coat. So how do we do the coating for primer, base and clear coat? We saw before e-coat, we have a tank, then we will dip the car and we will take it out. Primer, base coat and clear coat basically will do the external surface, also the internal surface. Internal surface, mainly the edges where we don't have any trim part. So this will be a completely robotic application. Some of the OEM, if they are running low jobs production, then they may do the internal application by manual with the operator. But nowadays, most of the OEM they are doing with robotic. So we'll have a robotics for each station. Will have a 4 robotics which will divide the surface area for the painting. Then also we'll have a handling robot. Handling robot will help to open the hood, open the door, open the deck lid, the rear one, to help this robot to do the internal painting. So this clear coat will be a environmental protection, mean to avoid the dust, then the fingerprint, because as soon you touch the car body, you will not see the fingerprints on the car body. Then also will help for the chemical dirt, bad droppings, because whenever we have bad dropping something, then easy to clean, it won't stick to the car body. Then also will help for the scratches. Whenever we run a car in off-road, we have some trees in between, then if it is any minor scratches, then it won't be visible. Clear coat will protect. Also will help for UV light, heat and the moisture. So what we taught, it's like a general information. So the color which we give for color and brightness and the environmental effect. So basically this clear and base coat will go together. We call it as a top coat. Uh, why we are telling like this is each, as I said before, each painting we have to go with the woven, but with current technology, we have a technology called IP2 process where we can do base coat and clear coat together. We don't need a woven. So initially, we have e-coat, primer coat, base coat, and clear coat. Now, base coat and clear coat is combined. So we'll have a primer surface, then base coat and clear coat together as a top coat surface. Also, for a commercial vehicles like a truck and van, they will not do this kind of expensive coating. They will do the monocoat is all basic primer, base, and clear coat in one coat. So we will also call it as a powder coat, or also will call it as a monocoat. So this is only for a commercial vehicle. But for luxury vehicle, we do this coat. Okay, next, how do we do the test? After all it's done, the same hash test. I saw the tool before. So we will do the scratching of the car. After it's coming out of the code, we will see how is the property of this scratching. Whether we are removing only the scratch surface or we are also removing the extra surface surrounding of the scratch. So example, if we are removing surrounding of the scratch, then the test is not okay. So you can also see here, we'll also do with this tape, this adhesive tape. Then also we can check how much is the scratch or how much the paint is coming out. So by this we can also check whether this is the problem of the coating or it's a problem of the baking, mean problem of the oven, or it's not polymerized well. So we can also check with this scratch test. So next one is the humidity cabinet. This is for the humidity test. What we do, the car body parts, the panel, we will keep it for 40-degree temperature with 100% relative humidity. Then we'll keep this panel for 240 to 480 hours. So then after we take out this panel, we will do the similar scratch test. Then we can see, we will know how the quality of the paint bonded with the car body. Then also the car will be delivered to the C source also. So this test also must. So what we do, we have a salt spray chamber. So in this chamber, we'll add a salt based on the climatic condition. Then we'll keep this panel for 144 to 240 hours. Then we'll take out this panel, we'll do the similar scratch test. Then we'll know whether this paint and the steel is okay for the salt spray test or not. So you can see some of the examples. See here, when we do the scratching, it is peel out more than 6 millimeter, whereas the tool is 1 millimeter. So we can say this paint is not okay for the salt spray. Then we might go with the paint supplier and we might check with the process what is went wrong. Then we'll do the analysis for the salt spray test. This is the last process for the cavity wax by process wise. So what we do, we also done the e-coat paint to have the protection for the cavities. But sometimes what will happen inside the cavities, we cannot see it is all over coated or still some air bubbles is left out, because we also do the simulation, we also do the destructive test, but still there will be a plus or minus 10% deviation from car to car. So to avoid this, what we do, we take the wax material, then with 20 micron, we will spray along this cavity. So if you see the car body, it is the bottom view. So where we have a car body, we will spray this car body with wax. So in case of whenever we do the cleaning of the car, when the car is in rain, if some water goes inside, then it won't have a direct contact with the metal, interior metal part, so that we can avoid this corrosion protection. So how we do the wax, we'll have a nozzle, then we'll have a holes in the car body in the cavities area. So one side will have a wax, another side will send a air. So with injector, help of injector, air and wax will mix, then we'll spray to the car body. Then we need a uniform spray. For this, we can adjust the injector to have a proper mixing of air and proper mixing of wax material. Then for wax also we'll do the penetration test. How we do, after apply the wax in two panel, we can see how much it is expanded. Because 5 millimeter, if you apply the 5 millimeter wax, it should cross 100 micron. So this will help to identify how much wax material we need. Also, another topic is like in the car body, we will not have much holes in the underbody. We'll have some interval. So how much holes we need? So this also depends on the wax material. So whenever we have a wax material or from supplier, we will check how much distance it's traveling. Usually, in the vertical distance should travel for 250 millimeter. Then we assume this material is okay, then we can apply into the car body. Also, the viscosity of the material is important because when we do the injecting, this should flow. So we have some DAN standard for the material. So this will also will follow. So ideally, the viscosity required for 60 to 80 seconds, 80 years. Then it is the good viscosity of the material. Then the next test is the stone chip test, which we'll do before we go into the paint shop process or whenever we change the paint material. So how we do is we'll have a 23 degree to minus 30 degree test temperature. Then we'll take the panel with stones. Then we'll spray the stones into the coated material. Then we'll see how much the paint is chip out, whether painting is chipping out or it is only chipping out where the stones is hitting. Then how is the quality? Because we also spray this to 4.5 bar Dematic compressed air. By this, we'll also check the quality of the paint. So what we'll do, if the stone chip quality is not good, then we analyze which part of the car the stone chip quality is not good. Then we will add another coat in those areas. Because it is like a special process. Some of the cars in the rocker panel area where you have the below the door panel area where it is closely contact with the tire. So when we run faster, this tire we will also get some stones hitted to the panel. Then this area after test we identify this is unacceptable, because if the stone chips like this, after this chipping area water comes in, then it will give the corrosion. Then we'll do the measure. Either we'll apply another coat in those area, like a stone chipping coat, or some OEM, some companies, they will covered with a plastic guard. So whenever they do the plastic guard, it will also for a stylist. Also, it is for the stone chip test. So this is the evaluation rating for the stone chips. Next test, we'll do the weather test. Weather test is based on the climate area. So we keep the panel, and based on the area, we also create a similar weather inside with the air, with humidity, with the temperature. Then we'll keep this panel for 2000 hours, example. Then we will check, okay, this test is okay. Basically, we do the test when we have a new paint material or new colors, or will have a new metal on the car body, like a steel, or we change into stainless steel, or we change into aluminum steel. So whenever we have these changes, we'll do this kind of weather test. So the last important part is the gloss measurement, because even though we maintain the process in the paint shop, we maintain the process of e-coat, primer coat, clear coat. We because maintain this. This is only we done for a metallic part in the car body. So when the car coming out of the factory, this will also have the plastic part, like a we called as a bumper, front bumper, rear bumper. Then also we called as a stone chip bar. All this in plastic parts. So always this plastic parts color and the car body color should match. Same when you go into the interior of the car, we'll have a trim parts, seats. Then this trim parts is plastic. Also the cockpit is plastic. This has to match with the interior color of the car. Otherwise, it doesn't look good. So after we finish all this test for the paint material, we also go with the glossy measurements. Gloss measurements. Gloss measurements we will do for a car body as well as we will do for a plastic parts. Both should match. Otherwise, when the car coming out of plant, if you order a black car body, the black car steel and the black bumper looks different. There will be a different shades, which is not acceptable. So we have to ensure that the steel car body and the plastic part should have the same gloss measurement. So how do we do? There is some kind of test method. If there is a car surface, we have to look the car in certain angle, like with 80%, 60%, 30%. Then with help of this tool, we can also check how much it's reflecting and which color it is reflecting. Because always, whenever the paint reflects, it is reflect with yellow or it will reflect with more blue, more yellow or more blue. Sometimes it will reflect with orange. So when it is reflect with orange, then we say this is the fault from the process. But whenever it is reflect with yellow and blue, this can be managed by the plastic and the steel part combination. So this is like a high glass surface. Usually we do this test with 20-degree optic location with 85 glass units. So this we call as a high glass. Then if the high glass is on car body metal area, if the same is in plastic parts, then we are okay. Same for semi glass, we measured with 60-degree optic, then with 50 glass unit. So for example, if the car body with high glass and the plastic parts with semi glass, then easily the customers or the people can identify the car doesn't prepared well. It's look like a two different color. So always this glass measurement should be same for plastic and steel part. So after our individual test, we will also check this parameter. Where is the mistake? Whether mistake in the car or mistake in the plastic parts. If the mistake in plastic parts, we will communicate to the plastic manufacturer. They have to adjust their process because the color measurement it's not matching. If it is in steel, then we will do the adjustment in our paint shop process. So mainly this process will adjust in base coat, because base coat is the first area where we will get the color for the car. There we will check the robot rotation, speed of the turbine, how fast we are doing the painting. By this we can adjust this glass measurement. So next one is the orange pill, because sometimes you may see the black car, but or white car, if you see in some distance, you may observe there is a yellow shade. So this is also one of the defect. If we see this kind of yellow shade, then the car not qualitily painted. So you will not see the yellow shade complete car body. Sometimes you see in the roof, sometimes you see in the door. So if you see this yellow, then this is representing that the quality is not okay. So this is kind of machine where we can also measure this yellow shade, because when the car preparing inside the paint shop, we'll have only the lighting. We will not have a natural light, so we cannot able to see it. So we do the measurement with this tool. Then by one shift, one car, or one shift, two car, depends on the volume. We also take some car outside in the sunlight area. Then we will see. So sunlight also, we have a cloudy situation, we have pure sun, then we have a sunset situation. All this situation will do this kind of test. So this is like example when we see the car, when how we can check this orange pill. So basically this is the observer. We can see this car in some angle, then sun will be in opposite side. So still it should not give this kind of orange. So if you give complete car, then okay, but usually it will not be, because we have some plastic parts, steel parts. Then if there is a difference in the basics, then we have to do this kind of test. So even though we prepare so many tests, we have some criteria, like globally all the companies follows. So we have to follow this daylight D65 one. Then also the incandescent with A, then with fluorescent light. So this is kind of lux which we have to consider while preparing the paint, while preparing the car quality. Next one is the absorber color measurement. This also do, because person to person this absorber will change. So how we look the car. So one is like we have to look at the car in 2 degree, and another one is 10-degree absorber. So these all derive based on the simulation, because as soon as the car design is finished and there will be a color developed for a new color example, then we'll do this kind of simulation. When we check in this angle, how the car look like. So all this lighting, all this angle will be simulated in software. So we call this rendering. So by this, we will do this kind of measurement. So after manufacture the car, we'll also do this test, and we will compare this with the simulation results. So this is also one of the criteria where we can do with the light source, observer, and the object. So these all are the common color document which will do the test, which color, which new color we can launch in the market. So this is the standard equipment where we'll give the color measurement, including the observer, then paint material, all this area included, which will give the color measurement. Then we can also define tolerance on this measurement. So when we do the measurement for the color, we can also check whether it is matching with the standard or not. Then this is kind of visual color evaluation. This also will do by part when we launch the new color. So how it will differ based on the process, based on the color. For example, if you have a dual color in one car, so when we mix those area, how it will look like. So this kind of evaluation also will do. Then last, we also do the paint thickness, not the last, after we have a harness. So paint thickness also will do. So we saw in the beginning how much is the thickness for the each coat. Then after all the process, we also know how much is the thickness for the complete car. Usually the complete car thickness is 110 to 140 micron. So we'll also do in different area like a door, then roof, then close to the bumper plastic parts, close to the mirror parts, we'll do this kind of thickness measurement. Because this thickness is important. If the thickness is low, then there is no guarantee that it won't get corroded. So if the thickness is okay, we give the confidence that we give the guarantee that this paint will withstand for 10 years. Then this also important one for the hardness, because if the hardness is not good, then paint get crack. So after do all this test, we also do the hardness test. This test also we have a IS1 standard norms. Then based on this test, we'll know, okay, this paint won't get cracked maybe after 3 years, after 4 years. So it will have a flexibility to have a good adhesive with the steel parts. So basically this will do with a clear coat. The hardness test will do with 1.30 millimeter. Then for primer we'll do with 1.25 millimeter. Then also we'll do the zero emission test for the wax area, because wax material is flammable. Since we are applying this for the corrosion protection, so after apply this, we also check the property. It should not get flame. So based on that, this wax material will be added with binders. Then when we spray this wax, it's not flow around. So this should not be in the exposure area. Okay, that's all from my side. So if any question, let me know. Thank you.
Good afternoon all. I am Jerome Rajkumar, lecturer of Mechanical Department. Thank you everyone. We appreciate you being here. We want to thank our management, our principal, Professor T.B. Rubus, and webinar coordinator, Professor Kopi Prabhu, and our department head, Professor Namachivayam as well. Dear participants, kindly fill up the feedback form and get your EE certificates. Thank you all once again for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Thank you all. Stay safe, stay home. Thank you all.